Let's see, Domaine de la Charbonniere was bought by Eugène Marais in 1912 to please his wife. Native from Chateauneuf de Pape and winemaker's daughter of the appellation. Please the wife. You know, happy wife, happy life. Eugene Marais, you are a smart MFer. That's the way to play it, buddy. Well done. And, you know, fortunately for him, he did buy some of the best property in Chateauneuf de Pape, which, you know, at the time wasn't even an appellation, but was already kind of appellated. All right? So you think back, you know, Burgundy, everything, it wasn't just like one day all these vineyards just magically appeared and they were amazing, right? There's history, you know, going back 1,000 years, Cistercian monks in Burgundy, etc., with regards to reputation and quality of vineyards, whether it's in Bordeaux, whether it's in Alsace, whether it's in Chateauneuf du Pape. The quality sites were already kind of being picked out. People knew who the quality sites were. So when Eugene bought the property, believe me, his wife was probably, you know, giving him a bit of, Eugene, you kind of need to do this or we're not. And he's like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, but don't sweat it. Don't sweat it because you're buying prime real estate. You're buying grade A prime ribeye. And that's what we have at this property. This is wonderful, wonderful property, Charbonniere. And the Marais family's been this fourth generation now? Yeah, fourth, fifth generation, something like that. And the wines have always been killer, always had a reputation, always been from the best terroirs. So, here's the story. We're at Wine Paris this year, hanging out. Actually, we're tasting it in Chateauneuf de Pape with another outstanding producer. Some people consider the best of the appellation. We're literally tasting with them. And another importer comes over to us and goes, hey guys, you gotta taste this wine. Guys, come over here. Which is quite common. We run into multiple importers when we're there at the show. A lot of folks from America working at the same time. A lot of time we're in the same rooms kind of operating. And we politely were like, hey, slow your roll. We're with someone else right now, but we'd love to come over and, you know, if we get a chance, et cetera, et cetera. No, we did the deal. We bought all of it. Okay. And basically, this was the wine they were interrupting our wine tasting with another importer. This is the wine they wanted us to come taste. This is the Domaine de la Charbonniere, Chateauneuf du Pape, Les Hautes Brusquieres, Cuvee Speciale, 2012. What? Nope, it's not a fresh wine. This is a library release direct from the Domaine. This is why our other importer friends were so psyched and so stoked at the show at that point in time. Like they literally butted into a different, working with another person where they're literally butting going, no, stop everything, gotta come taste this. We're like, fuck it, no. So we said, here's what we'll do. We're gonna buy 20 cases blind. We'll buy 20 cases blind. And not really blind, because I did taste this wine and sold this wine on release 10 years ago. So I do have a sense of what this wine was a decade ago, but what is it now? We don't know. I literally don't know. I just opened this, just fired it up. Perfect from the Domaine, perfect corks, everything pristine, untouched, 100%, super duper, direct from the great Domaine de la Charbonniere. Beautiful color. Okay, great. This is, so getting back to the little terroir thing, parcels, places. There are places in Chateauneuf. Now, there aren't like Premier Cru and Grand Cru vineyards, but there are certain sites that are already distinguished and people know they're already baller. One of those sites is Brusquieres. Brusquieres is in the northern part of Chateauneuf. It is one of the, what we call the Ludi, or named sites, known sites, just like La Croix, or any Genasse, and a lot of these other sites, Bois Dauphin, Cabrières. These are all known quality appellated areas within Chateauneuf du Pape, known for the distinctiveness of their wines. In this case, the distinctiveness of Brusquieres is how textbook it is. You have the classic, you don't have sand underneath, but you have a firmer soil underneath, and you have the big rocks on top, the big galets roulés, the rolled pebbles, as they say. They're not pebbles, they're this big around. They're huge rocks that dominate the landscape on this plateau and makes very special wines, what we call classic Chateauneuf wines. And I actually really dig the wines from the northern part of Chateauneuf because it is a little cooler there. So we do have a little more energy and vibrancy, the less of the porty, jammy flavors that you might get from the southern side of Chateauneuf, and more brightness and energy. Now, To help with the energy of this wine even further, this wine is only 60% Grenache and 40% Syrah, with occasionally a little dollop, like 1%, a soupçon of Counoise once in a while to brighten, to freshen, especially if it's a great vintage. So this is a 60-40 blend, Grenache, Syrah, all larger barrels, demi-muid, big barrels, et cetera, the classic Chateauneuf de Pape vinification. But everything is in barrel here, as opposed to some estates which tend to use maybe more concrete, more larger concrete vats, etc. Everything here is wood, but big, older, neutral wood. Okay, that's kind of their gig. So I'm with you. Let's check this out. Youthful. 12 was a warmer year, and the biggest concern that I have with a lot of wines from 11, 12 is post-bottling Brett bloom, Brettanomyces, which is kind of like give you that kind of like either Band-Aids or like almost like a horsey smell in the wine, like the farm animals are inside the bottle. And this wine is clean as a whistle, which that was my only point of concern was, in 11 and 12, two kind of warm, kind of wacky years, sometimes the Brett can pop in these wines. And this wine is beautiful. I'm so excited. No, you don't understand. I'm very happy right now because this is blind. I mean, they could have just been full of crap. So I'm glad to see this wine. Smells much more like it actually did back in 2015. Amazingly youthful, honestly. And Chateauneuf, usually we tell folks, kind of drink it within 7 to 10. Some can go longer. We're at 12 here. So it was a little roll of the dice, but I did trust our friends, our importer friends. They got really good palates. One is a very well-regarded sommelier, and the other one's got a great palate. And so I knew these guys had their crap together. So it wasn't as much of a flyer as I'm trying to paint it out to be, maybe. But still, you never know with old Chateauneuf. This smells gorgeous. The Syrah has really kept the frame of this wine. The Grenache is there. It doesn't leave. But what I like about this wine is aromatically, even at the start, the Syrah has the frame there, but not in a meaty, sauvage, peppery way, more just in a type way with the wine, which I adore. A delight. Exactly what old Chateauneuf is supposed to do. Round, polished, a touch gamey, but in the best way, like properly gamey, Chateauneuf gamey. That's where the Syrah is coming in the palate a bit. Easy, tender, round, generous. A joy, absolute joy. Yay, 12 years old. 94 points from Dunnick on release. Yeah, I think that's where I put it. Is this like 100 point Chateauneuf? No, but this is great frigging Chateauneuf. That, again, it's not often you get a chance to look at Chateauneuf with bottle age in impeccable condition. That is really friggin' great. It is a wonderful snapshot. This is reminiscent of, what is it reminiscent of? Nothing. There's not a lot of older Chateauneuf I've had that have been like this, i.e. when you drink older Pégauds, sometimes they're like too gamey. The Brett's really popping in the wines. They're super sauvage. If you drink Beaucastel, same thing. The Mourvèdre kind of really makes its presence felt, etc. With old Beaucastel, old Genasse, they've had their issues off and on. Maybe like Marcoux. Or for some of you Chateauneuf dorks, like just really straight up, dead center, beautiful Chateauneuf. What a treat. $50. So you get arguably their top cuvee in a really good vintage at a lower price than their current release. No wonder these guys were psyched. I trusted them, but I didn't totally trust them. I could have bought more. 20 cases, I think, is what we have to work with. That should be enough. I mean, for the day. This will sell. People dig old Chateauneuf because nobody cellars their Chateauneuf. Chateauneuf's so friggin' delicious that everybody drinks it. So there's never the opportunity to do this. And if you do it, sometimes the wine's wonky. Here, 100% pure, guaranteed, prime, kick-ass Chateauneuf, perfect condition, at a great friggin' price. What a joy. Friggin' lovely. I should have bought more.